Welcome to the SEMbio blog. We are going to do something a little different today. We're going to do a video blog. Today we're being joined by the founders of Ask and Tell with MSLs, Renee Rotolo and Lindsay Teliska. It's a good one. I hope you guys enjoy it. Lindsay, do you want to start? Would you mind telling everybody a little bit about yourself?
Yeah, so my name is Lindsay. I am currently a sixth-year graduate student in the neuroscience PhD program at Baylor College of Medicine. So I'm down in Houston. I'm originally from New York, though, so I made a big move to the South a few years ago. But yeah, besides doing my PhD and working on the webinar, I am on a soccer team for fun. I really like hanging out with my dog, so I have hobbies outside of this as well.
I have to say, I did not realize you were in Texas.
Yes. Yep.
So I don't know what your affiliation is, but well, you see my UT diploma right behind me. So.
Yeah.
Renee, what about you? Tell us a little bit about yourself.
Sure. So my name is Renee Rotolo. Am I okay? Yeah.
Yeah, you did.
I got my PhD last year from the University of Connecticut in behavioral neuroscience. And after that, I did a postdoc year also at the University of Connecticut in behavioral neuroscience. So after that, I just got my first medical science liaison job at Sage Therapeutics. I've been there for 2 months now, so I just got certified to go out into the field and start talking to people, which is really exciting. But yeah, I'm now located in Boston, so I'm a new Charlestown resident. I have not joined any groups or anything here, but I'm going to be looking to do that. And in my spare time, I'd like to also become a spin instructor in the area.
Oh, that's great. So I guess my first thought was that maybe you two were in college together. Oh, okay. All right. Well then, so where did this idea come from? Whoever wants to speak to it. I mean, where did this come from?
I can take that. So I think it came from a little bit of quarantine creativity. Last April, so April 2020, I was writing my dissertation from home. We were all in lockdown. And I'm like, what can I be doing other than this? Is the first question. Second question, though, was importantly, like, what can I be doing networking wise to just be able to talk to people and get myself out there, while we're all under lockdown. It's just like weird times. So I decided to reach out to Lindsay and I said, hey, we're both interested in the MSL career. What can we be doing, behind the scenes before we graduated that, will propel us a little bit further. So we kind of brainstormed a little bit, came up with this webinar idea, had some fun picking names for it, decided to go with Ask and Tell with MSLs because it rhymed, and that's exactly what we ended up doing. So yeah, we just decided to reach out to a couple people that we knew were current MSLs, or also were interested in becoming MSLs and saying, would you be interested in something like this? And I invited a friend who had just landed her first MSL role several months earlier to be our first speaker. So that's kind of how this all came to be. And since then, we've had, I think, 12 or 13 speakers. And we just recently had a social event where we encouraged networking and people to just come and gather in breakout rooms and share tips and stories. So it's been fun.
I'm really bummed because I wanted to go to that. But my son was playing baseball and I couldn't go.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun, actually.
Well, maybe the next one for me. So how long did it take for you to get like what you feel like is a real following?
That's a good question. I don't think it took that long. I mean, maybe Renee can comment, but I feel like maybe after we had 3 webinars, we started to build an audience. I think people really were looking for something like this again during that quarantine time. How can you work on your career on the side of your job or your schooling? So I think pretty quickly people grasped on to the webinar.
Yeah, I'd agree. I feel like probably after 2 or 3, we started building up our email list. So we had a distribution list and we'd send out announcements, and it took us, I think, until maybe our 5th month in to develop the LinkedIn group. So that's about right. We didn't think
Oh,
about that right away. Yeah. So
the LinkedIn group didn't come first.
no, we first were just posting on our LinkedIn, and we would just get our own individual networks to come in and register. And then we decided to do a LinkedIn group, which was then followed by our YouTube channel. So I think we didn't really understand how big it could get. So we were kind of just approaching it as like a fun and casual, and we're going to get together on Zoom. But then once we saw that people were really interested in catching on, we were like, let's make a LinkedIn group, and then let's start recording and posting them. So yeah, but I would agree, it came on pretty quickly. People really liked it, and a lot of positive reinforcement right away.
Yeah.
So what do you guys get out of this? Not career-wise, but maybe personally. What do you guys get out of this?
I personally really enjoy connecting people. There's a lot of people who attend the webinar who maybe are at a place where they feel a little bit lost what their next step should be. So I really love that because of the webinar, we're able to say, oh, maybe you should talk to this person. They're doing a similar thing as you. So I get a lot of satisfaction out of that, and just building a network in general, I feel like is really satisfying to me. So I've enjoyed that aspect of it.
Yeah.
You should be a recruiter.
Maybe.
I'm just teasing. No. What about you, Renee?
Well, along those same lines, I really just love hearing everyone's individual stories. Like everybody's story is so different and so unique, and you learn so much. Even if you're already in the career and you have your job and you've been there for years, you're still going to hear something different from someone else. So especially being virtual, we're able to hear from people all over the country and even all over the world. We had one of our first speakers was in Australia, and then I think that's where our upcoming speaker is too.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So yeah, just hearing so many different perspectives for me has been the most eye-opening aspect of it.
Oh, very good. What has been like the most memorable nugget, pearl of wisdom that over these dozens of webinars that you've done?
I would say for me, there's been a ton of great advice, of course. Something that has stood out for me personally, though, has been the need to brand yourself when pursuing the MSL career. So I've been trying to think about that a lot for myself. Like, what should my brand be? How can I convey my brand through LinkedIn, through a CV? So I'm still working on that, but I do think it will revolve around communication and connecting people and building relationships like that.
Yeah, and I think that's probably great preparation for when you are an MSL, because I think that brand is going to follow you and help perpetuate your career. So that's awesome. What about you, Renee?
So for me, I was kind of starting to apply or think about applying when we first were doing these over the first couple months. And what I kept hearing that really stood out to me is like, just don't be afraid. There's no shame in reaching out to someone who you don't know. The worst that can happen is they don't respond to you. So just kind of getting that boost of confidence and courage from all of these speakers that we've had on to just put yourself out there and make a name for yourself and just reach out. Like, don't hesitate, because you have nothing to lose, and that's how you can make a connection that will one day help you get your dream job. So
and that obviously helped you.
Yeah.
I will tell you, I spoke to somebody just this morning, and she was referred to me by an MSL that I hadn't placed, but I had a long-standing relationship with, and she's only been looking for about 3 months. And I said, so how do you know so-and-so? And she said, well, I had been watching the Ask and Tell of MSL's webinars, and one of the things that I saw consistently is how important it is to get out there and make connections with current MSLs. And so I've been just like what you just said. So great advice.
Yeah.
And I so appreciated how seriously she was taking this career search, that she's spending the time with you guys and doing the things she's being advised to do. So kudos to you guys. It's awesome.
Yeah, great to hear that.
So I'm curious if you guys are keeping up with some of the group members and their success stories.
Yeah, you may have seen, we just recently took a little screenshot of somebody who was announcing a new career. So she is a brand new MSL with no prior experience, and she had listened to our webinars and also a few other webinar resources and podcasts, and she just landed her first job. So we like to celebrate people that are kind of in our community and just post about their successes. So she was our first one, but we would love to do that for anybody else that's in our community or that we know, and just kind of spread the word and celebrate, and also give other people the motivation and encouragement. But yeah, I think we've also noticed, I think Lindsay, you said you noticed a few other people on your feed that had been involved in our webinars in the past that have also been doing well.
Oh, that's great. So listen to you guys out there. If Ask and Tell with MSLs has helped you get your first job, make sure you let Lindsay and Renee know so they can spotlight you.
Yep.
So what do you think the future holds for this initiative?
Yeah, I think Renee and I haven't discussed that too much. I still have a few months before I'll be looking for an MSL job, so I can definitely still spend a lot of time with the webinar. Renee is also still able to spend time with it. But I would love to see it continue past Renee and me. I think it would be really exciting to hand it off to somebody because it's already such a great community. So I wouldn't want that to stop just because Renee and I can't put the same time into it anymore. So I'm looking forward to it growing and seeing really where it can go.
Yeah, I would love to pay it forward, find somebody who's just as committed as the two of us have been. We have so many loyal community members that I think would be more than willing to take on this opportunity.
Yeah.
Great. And then again, for I guess the people who are watching, you mentioned the next one is going to be featuring an Australian.
Yep.
And so what's the date and time and topic and all of that good stuff?
So this webinar is going to be on Tuesday, July 20th. It's going to be at 6 p.m. Central, 7 p.m. Eastern, because we have to have it at night because there is a 15-hour time difference to Australia. So we will be having it Tuesday night, this coming Tuesday. So we're going to post on LinkedIn probably today and send out a reminder email to our email list.
Okay, and so who will be speaking and what's the topic?
Oh yeah, her name is Dr. Jennifer Wong, and she will be speaking about the digital literacy that is needed as an MSL, especially in this now virtual world that's going on post-pandemic. So I think it'll be very helpful, and it's going to be a workshop style. So I think there will be a lot of interaction.
Oh, that's great. I love it.
Mm-hmm.
Awesome. Well, I really don't have a whole lot more. You guys have done such a great job. I've been recruiting MSLs for 21 years, believe it or not, as youthful as I look. But this is so innovative, and I am personally very proud of everything that you guys have done. And we obviously would love to help and give back to you guys. So I'm so happy to have the opportunity to spotlight y'all. And bring this out for people to see and hopefully join and participate and ultimately give back as well.
Yeah.
So if you're not following them yet, you guys follow them on LinkedIn, connect with them. Mm-hmm. Again, thanks again, you guys. It's been wonderful. Thanks so much.
Yeah, thank you.
We
appreciate you helping us spread the word.
Yeah.